2021 has come to an end, so it is time to look back at all the games that I played in the past year and pick the 10 best among them. In 2021 I played over 100 games, so there are a lot of potential candidates. This list is not restricted to games that were released in 2021, and as a matter of fact I haven't played any games that were released in 2021 in the past 12 months. Well then, what did I play? I finally played Halo 4, which was enjoyable, but nowhere near the level of Bungie's preceding Halo games. I traveled back in time to 1982 and took on an extra job as a checkpoint inspector in Subnautica. I finally played and finished Divinity Original Sin 2, 13 made for an unforgettable first-person experience, and I got to make some difficult decisions about people's fate in Telltale's The Walking Dead series. I had a great time playing as a misbehaving goose, enjoyed Horizon Chase Turbo and Hotshot Racing, which paid tribute to the racing games of the past, as well as reliving old memories as I had long last got my own copy of Lord of the Rings Conquest. And my god, is this game so much worse than I remember. Don't get me wrong, it is still lots of fun when you play it with friends via split-screen multiplayer, but playing by yourself gets repetitive very quickly, and you will see how brain dead the AI can be. Other great split-screen games that I enjoyed with friends this year and that I can recommend are games like Gang Beasts, Crash Nitro Kart and Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. Finally, I shouldn't forget to mention Streets of Rage 2, which has an incredible soundtrack that makes it even more enjoyable to beat up enemies. While most of these games were great, none of them made it into my top 10 list of games that I played in 2021. So now that you are all wondering what made it into this list, it's time to kick this list off with number 10. Coming in at number 10 is a game that is somewhat of a sleeper hit, which is Sleeping Dogs. This game should get as much attention as other open world games, not only because it has a great story that made me want to continue playing to see it through the end, but also since the side missions are really fun to complete. Given that I would normally not bother with the side content, it is a testimony to the game's greatness, as I even decided to delve further into the game just to be able to play more of this awesome overlooked game. For the first few hours that I played Subnautica, I wasn't immediately hooked. I felt that the progression was way too slow, and I still think that in the beginning it can take quite long to make some progress and get settled. But after those initial hours, something just clicked. Once I got my own base, I was hooked and couldn't stop playing. There's just something so magical and scary about exploring the depths of the ocean. It never ceases to be rewarding when you discover another secret location or alien facility. The game was so enjoyable to play through that I even decided to get the Platinum Trophy. So overall, I'm really glad that I finally decided to play Subnautica. Without a doubt, the most relaxing game I played in 2021 was Abzu, a game that stands alongside Journey as a short but unforgettable gaming experience. The environments are brightly colored and I often found myself just looking around and taking in all of the beautiful scenery. It's even entertaining to just sit back and watch the local wildlife interact with each other. Given that most games are filled with action, with some being incredibly challenging, it's great that there are still games like Abzu that allow you to just take your time and not worry but just relax. 2021 marked the year when I finally played some Sonic games, and I had such a great time playing Sonic 2 that it had to be included in my top 10. Mario has nothing on this agile hedgehog, and unlike the first Sonic game, the levels are designed around Sonic's incredible speed, with chemical plants being an excellent example. All the levels have lots of deviating paths that make it highly replayable, and they are accompanied by some awesome tracks. This combined makes the game much more enjoyable compared to the first Sonic game. With this title, Sega truly proved they could produce games that stand alongside Nintendo giants like Mario and Zelda. As a Star Wars fan, it was inevitable that I would play Star Wars The Force Unleashed at some point. I finally decided to play it in 2021 and I enjoyed this game a lot, thanks to its interesting story and great gameplay where you get to feel like an all-powerful Force user. Killing enemies with your lightsaber and Force powers is extremely satisfying, and it's hilarious to see these helpless individuals clinging onto their dear life while they are unable to stop you. This makes me feel like I'm taking part in the Star Wars universe, which is exactly what it needed to do and why it is in my top 10. Ratchet and Clank Go Commando made some huge improvements from its predecessor, and making guns upgradable by killing enemies was a genius addition that makes it very addictive to constantly upgrade your arsenal throughout the game, though it's still not flawless, with planets like Grablin being lazily designed with just a bombardment of Yetis. Still, other planets are truly enjoyable to explore, and the fun gunplay makes up for all of the small problems, encouraging you to continue playing in challenge mode to upgrade your weapons even further, creating a formula that would serve as a stepping stone for all future Ratchet and Clank games. After absolutely enjoying the thrill of playing Resident Evil 7, I was determined to play more Resident Evil games to get that same rush. Thus, I decided to play the remake of Resident Evil 2, which certainly didn't disappoint. Just like with RE7, there were moments where I was truly terrified and constantly on edge. The limited resources made me cautious at all times. And in this game, I learned that it isn't necessary or feasible to take out every zombie. The addition of Mr. X makes the entire experience even more nerve-wracking, meaning you never truly feel safe outside of the save rooms. While I have not played the original title yet, I can still conclude that Capcom succeeded in making an incredible Resident Evil game. What's even better than the previously mentioned remake? That's right, it's Resident Evil 4. While this game is far less scary in my opinion, it takes the camp levels up to 11.
I've been expecting you, my brethren.
No thanks, bro.
Making for a hilarious horror game that balances this just perfectly so you can still take it somewhat seriously. Now Leon is an absolute powerhouse and he cracks jokes throughout the entire game, making the cutscenes very entertaining. While the quick time events are somewhat of an annoyance, they still can't bring down the overall experience. The controls are also a bit stiff compared to more recent third-person games, but this adds to the tension as you quickly try to turn around to kill enemies behind you, making for an incredible Resident Evil game. And I get why Capcom keeps re-releasing this game, because everybody should at least experience this great game once. Even before I played Bayonetta, I knew I would have a great time playing this title. While I'm not the best at hack and slash games, pulling off combos and just getting better at the game is extremely satisfying. Thanks to the perfect gameplay and over the top story, I enjoyed myself even more than I could have ever anticipated. Bayonetta is extremely charming and hilarious, and without her the game would lose a lot of charm. Although I died quite often in the game, it never felt unfair, as you always feel in control as Bayonetta. It is up to you as the player to carefully time your dodges and destroy your enemies with kick-ass combos. This game is highly replayable and just has it all for fans of the genre, as well as being an incredible introduction for gamers new to the hack and slash titles. And at number 1 is one of the last games I played in 2021, which is Max Payne 2. The first game was already great but had some frustrating issues, but this game fixed all of that. Bullet time is now even more fun to use as you are much more mobile. Taking down enemies in bullet time never gets old. And now that you can increase the slow-mo effect, it's even more addicting to rack up as many kills while you are in bullet time. Enemy encounters no longer feel unfair, and while you still die easily, this makes it less tedious to retry sections over again. While it is shorter than its predecessor, it makes for a flawless and enjoyable experience from start to finish. This game has stood the test of time and is easily among the best games ever made. And after beating the game, there was no doubt in my mind that it would claim the number 1 spot. So that's my top 10 list of games I have played in 2021. Let me know your top 10 games you played in 2021 in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, bye bye.